So, right, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekakadash. We said of our apostle and elders, agree Muslim rule, our teachers, our pastors in truth, and we say salutations. So they I come and push you with no truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season of the season, we see Shalom. And once again, going into our video here, and this basically touching upon this post that this person put up here, right? And what did the post was the intensity of the chatter right now concerning dark events is reaching levels I haven't seen for forever. Right. And there's a lot of stuff like if you've been keeping up with the news and the scriptures say to be what? To be occupied in prophecies. Right. And also they continue to be on the watch, watching, being circumspect. Matter of fact, I wanted to start with second Ezra, but let me go to the book of Ephesians, right? Chapter 5, and let me go to verse 15. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Yeah, because why? The days are evil, right? And that's good. Like this person, to the spirit, when I saw it, I said, I do a video on it because this is something that a lot of people don't understand. It's what's going to take place. The things that are mentioned, things that are written to to happen, especially onto America, it's nothing nice, it's nothing good, right? And as I said before, keeping up with the news, you're hearing talks about the economy crash. That's one of the biggest conversations right now. Gold and silver is at its highest rate, but with any midst of that, right, there's a reason why those particular minerals would be high, right? And when they continue to watch the market, they know like stocks and so forth are crashing. From one of the posts that I saw, one of the articles that came out is that um all the crashes before in history, this one is seeming to be the worst ever. Right? It's going to be one of the worst crash ever in history to be recorded. That's how bad it is right now. So when this person posted, the intensity of the chatter right now concerning dark events is reaching levels I haven't seen forever. Meaning that the things that are happening, the things that's been talked about, the things that they are seeing, is things that have never been recorded before in history. Right? Everything is getting worse and worse. That's the time that we're in. Like when you read, when you watch things like, for example, natural disasters that take place, like particularly earthquakes, hurricanes that happened recently, all of them have breaking records, right? They have breaking records. For example, the hurricane that hit Jamaica recently that caused that massive destruction. Even some of the places in Jamaica right now, they haven't recovered, and we know those things are being sent from who? From the Lord. That is judgment, right? But the hurricane itself, that particular hurricane, is the worst to ever hit them in history. Is the biggest that has ever hit or been recorded in history, right? So you get to understand what I'm saying. It's things that supposed to say concerning dark events reaching levels I haven't seen forever. Meaning that the things that are being talked about, the things that is going to happen, is things that it wasn't ever pre-recorded in. The scriptures tell us the evils shall intensify. The evils shall get worse, right? The evils is multiplying, so it getting worse, right? So that way it said redeeming the time because the days are evil. Yes, the days are evil, right? Now let me jump now to the second Ezra, chapter 7, and I want to start from verse 41. It say, even so now seeing corruption has grown up and wickedness increased, right? And that is what we've seen. We've seen the wickedness increase. What's the kind of stuff that's being done? There's your enemy right now is planning to what? To cut off the dollar and put a chip inside of you. That is wickedness. When you watch the kind of sin that is being multiplied upon the earth, it's being continually being getting worse and worse and worse. Right? There's this place is just full of what? Corruption, deceit, lies, bloodshed, and that is because of what? Who in charge? The people in authority. And we know the scriptures mention what the wicked shall do wickedly. So there's no good to come from the wicked, right? So the events, so that's why when I say concerning the dark events, the things that go and come upon this place. And we know, like for example, when you say dark events, we would draw it back to the Bible, and that is what going into what? Prophecy. Right? When the Lord tell us when the apostles ask about his signs, the coming and what was given on them, earthquakes, pestilence, wars, right? uproars of the people. These is things that when it happens, it's going to cause massive what? It causes massive pain, massive destruction, right? And a lot of other things like scriptures mention what famines. Go and look up what happening to food right now. There's another conversation at hand. There's a reason why when you read certain articles, people are telling you to stock up, to stockpile your food, right? So it say, even so now, seeing corruption has grown up and wickedness increased, and the righteousness have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so now also? He answered me and said, the present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Now we in the time where the Christmas time. So these jakes, they in the mood, they're happy, they're celebrating. It has something that's doing in the Caribbean here, they call it parang, right? They go from house to house paranging, and that might in American, maybe Europe, they might call it the Christmas carols, and going around. We call it parang on the side, or the jigs call it parang on the side, right? So they're happy, right? So they're happy right now. They're in the glee, and then right next week, in a couple of days from now, they're going into what, to the new year, right? And they have a statement that they say, "New year, new me," or "New year, things are going to get better." Right? There's always here them make those particular statements, from the coming soon. You're going to see them sharing it. You're going to see a whole bunch of stuff about it. Things are going to get better. You know, I pray the Lord I bring the Lord make this year better unto you. All these things, right? So that what the scripture saying here, what it say. He answered me and said, the present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. So there's not much glory to come in this present life, because the things written to come here, it's not nice. Just mentioning a few farming. I could just mention one orphan, and this the word farming alone should bring a sort of fear into you, because why? There is nothing to play with. Watch it had different levels of farming, right? And what kind of destruction it has caused to your body, even to the place around. Because what farming may cause is now it could cause like people to uproar, right? And when they uproar, men might run into your house, men might do this, people will say to kill for these. It's hey, it have nothing good to come to this place, right? So when this person here say the intensity of the chatter right now concerning dark events is reaching levels I haven't seen forever. Yeah, the things being talked about, it's always breaking new the things that happen in it, breaking the present record or something new, along those lines, right? So it's the present life is not this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak, but the day of doom, right? Sorry. It say, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time. Yeah, the day of doom shall be the end of this time. So it goes to show that it's nothing good to come to this place, right? And once you're keeping up with the prophecies, again, be occupied in prophecies, as the scripture say, you would know there's nothing to come to this place. Esau literally, before they bring um the answer, there's always bring one. There's a key order out of chaos, so the chaos had to come. Even their whole setup is to bring chaos, and then they bring the solution for the chaos, and there is another evil by itself, right? So it goes to show that literally it have nothing good to come to this place. So it say, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and that shall be the end of this time, right? It say, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. It say, intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. So, but let these things happen. That's something. The day of doom had to take place. The destruction had to happen, right? And all the rest of things that mentioned have to take place, right? Jacob's trouble, right? Jacob's trouble, and these things, and many other things that have to happen is going to happen. Then after that, then you will get righteousness, and that is coming from what, who? The Lord, right? They say righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. It say, then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, not to oppress him that had gotten the victory, right? So yeah, but it goes to show how the end of this world going to be, right? It's not going to be something that nice, and we enter into a time where a lot of people, um, they don't. want to see, right? Which is pain, right? Pain, destruction, right? A lot of death, mourning, right? There's a lot of stuff happening right now. If you literally keep up with the news, you would see. Let me just check this person's page. Let me see if they put up any articles or this vague posted, right? Um, um, right now, he didn't post anything. He just basically shared some other stuff. But let me read some of the comments. Say are you alluding to events in Nick Landian sense? I don't know who he is. It say the time that elapses between learning something edgy and seeing it go mainstream used to be weeks, months, years. This week on X, at least, it's about 12 hours. Something is moving into hyperdrive, the algo the universe. And just to see something, just like that last night, Trump made an attack, you know, on in Nigeria, and this is things that people thought he would have never done. They thought that, they believe the wicked word that he said that it would have no new wars, that he's a man of peace, the president of peace, But again, that is just the wicked, the lie, right? Um, and there's more to come. He literally made a statement. You could go and look at it, and you would see that he said this might be the last Christmas for, and he mentioned particular people of who this would be their last Christmas, right? So, hey, dark events, dark times. But we understand when you read the scriptures, this is what going to happen. That's why they continue pushing, right? Pushing. That men are trying to find the way. I was watching the Ella video from South Carolina, doing a video, and in the beginning of the video, you show some clips about men talking about job here and trying to find themselves here and all these things, and they didn't understand. But you can see, hey, when the destruction come, you feel that job going to be there. You feel that the scriptures mention our help coming from the Lord, right? And that is why we put we trust and faith in the Lord. That no matter what it is we're going through, we know the Lord will take us out of it, right? The men of the Lord know who it is they're going to turn to, and that is the Lord, not this kingdom, right? Because we know everything here is going to be what cut off, right? Just go and look up the market crash. When that market crash happen, what you feel going to happen to jobs? You feel going to be working? No, people is going to be cut off, and that is going to cause another situation by itself, right? Um, Second Ezra 14, it say, "Let go from thee." Second Ezra 14:14, it say, "Let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, and put off now the weak nature." Yeah, put off now that weak nature, cast away the burdens of man, and put off now that weak nature. It say, "And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times." Yeah, because these times ain't gonna be good times. Ezra say, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? Right? That's roughly paraphrasing, right? So who gonna deliver him in those days? And then then going on, it go to tell about what the beginning of sorrows. Sorrows. It didn't say good times. It says the beginning of sorrows. In the book of Matthew, it tell you the same thing as well. The beginning of what? Sorrows, right? That sound like anything good to you? So when you hear this guy talking about dark events, yeah, there's sorrows. That the things that the Lord mentioned to come to happen, right? So it say, "And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter." Say, yeah. So greater evils, things are going to, it say greater evils, so that means the evil that happening now, there's things worse to come, right? So things are eventually going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It says, "For look how much the world shall be weaker through age." It says, "So much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein." So it say what? Evil shall increase upon them that dwell therein. So we feel you're gonna be exempted from what is to come? No. The evils are going to increase upon them that dwell therein. So it's going to happen. And again, how are you going to escape that? The Lord with you, right? Because the things that these people put the trust in is going to fail. They put the trust into Esau, Edom, right? They put the trust into Babylon. What the book of Isaiah said, both that help and hoping shall fall or shall fail, right? Yeah. So that is what's going to happen. But hey, those dark times, right? So let me read some of these comments here. Usually when the chatter hits all time high, it means something is coming. The but armies are strong in that aspect. So I'm not talking about social media only, but yes, care to relay some of the chatter better. It does not it does not rise to reportable levels of checkability, right? So they was talking about the Burundi situation that happened, and that is a setup as well, right? You can guess the scale of the necessary destruction from the scale of the thing needing destruction from. The second thing, a global bio warfare genocide with tens of millions dead. So yeah, destruction will be by necessity have to suck a lot too. Hope they don't nuke us. And eventually, hey, well, the president was saying that they're not going to have a World War III, but according to the scriptures, there is going to have a World War, right? There is going to have that. They see this place reserved until what the fire, right? So there's a lot of evil to come to this place, right? So yeah, people are actually, and that goes to show that people are seeing, I know, and seeing, even feeling in the spirit that something's about to happen, right? That something's about to take place, right? So hey, once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekakodash. We said of us apostle and elders agreements and royalty, our teachers, our apostles in truth, and we say salutations to the accounts to the push with no truth and sincerity, day in and day out and constantly in season or the season. We say Shalom.